Welcome to Edmunds U-Drags. Today, we're power tripping. Over here, we have a sports car looking for a one-way ticket into the supercar club. And here, I mean, come on, it's already there. This is a dream pairing. Over here is the Chevy Corvette Z06, the rowdiest, most track-focused Corvette ever. And over here is the McLaren 765LT, the lightweight souped-up version of a lightweight souped-up exotic. Oh, baby, the U-Drag gods are good. And before we get rolling, what is U-Drags? Well, it's a race to there and back. You see, at Edmunds, we love to test cars. We came up with this not so scientific way of doing so that we call U-Drags. We're gonna take these two monsters and send them all the way down the track where they're gonna get hard on the brakes, turn around, and come all the way back. That means we're getting a quarter-mile, hard braking, handling, and a rolling race all in one. And after the first race, we're gonna swap drivers and lanes to make sure everybody gets a fair shot. And stay tuned, because at the end, we're gonna crunch the numbers. First up is the Corvette Z06, making 670 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. Those are gigantic numbers. With the optional Z07 package, it's got tons of aero, carbon fiber wheels, and incredibly sticky tires, the kind that are designed specifically for hijinks like this. Then there's the 765LT. This car is deep in supercar territory at 755 horsepower and 590 pound-feet. Not a single gram is wasted. So you can see where this is going. Engine, suspension, brakes, everything is tuned up to the max. Is the Z06 really up for this kind of challenge? To find out, we've got two members of the Edmunds test team, Reese and Kurt.
Oh boy.
Hold on to your butts, folks. This one is going to be fast. Probably really loud too. If you haven't noticed, there's a lot of money in cars sitting behind me right now. So if you want to see us do more ridiculous things just like this, do us a favor and like and subscribe. And by the way, if you're looking to sell your car, head over to edmunds.com/sellmycar.
Ooh, Corvette Z06. This one has the Z07 package. If you couldn't have already seen from the outside, I don't know what I'm gonna do against that thing, but obviously I have to use launch control. So launch control is not the easiest thing to get into. It's not impossible, but it's, you know, put the car into track mode, which is this knob thing down here. Tap the ESC button that brings up the performance traction management menu, move it into sport, and then that unlocks launch control. I'm gonna try and set launch control at like 4,000 RPM, maybe 6% slip, maybe 7% if I can get the tires really hot. But that's it. I mean, you know, it's a McLaren. It has 100 more horsepower. I can just hope that I get a better start and just get more traction. That's all I can hope for. So yeah, this is gonna be fun.
I am in the McLaren, and I'm going to use the very advanced launch control. Now, I press the active button on the dash, put the car in first gear, push the launch control button down here, and all it is waiting for me to hit throttle.
This one is exciting.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Come on! Oh! Come on! Oh! Holy no way! Not a chance! Look at that! That is fast. Wow.
Yeah, wow's an understatement. That was one of the most thrilling things I've ever experienced.
That was, I thought I got a great launch. Like I loved it. I looked over, I couldn't see you. And then all of a sudden it was like, I had a parachute behind the car. Like that thing positively drove past me and just kept going.
I don't know if it's limiting torque off the line, but you definitely got off quicker. But yeah, I mean, this thing picks up power. It just sailed by. I really didn't know what this race was going to look like, but I didn't expect that, well, this car.
it's weird to be in a Z06 with all this power, all the technology, all the radness that's baked into this, and then look over and get positively walked.
I mean, I would hope so for the price of this thing.
I mean, it is less than half the price, but that shows that if you want to go as fast as that thing, it's gonna cost money.
Yeah, you get like everything about it, the brakes, the engine, it just feels wonderful.
You looked like the thing was just glued onto the floor, like there was no movement out of that thing. I wasn't looking at you when you went around the cone because I was kind of focused on my own issues.
To be honest, I probably could have taken the cones a little tighter, but once you get on the power, I just really wanted to get the wheel straightened up as much as I could, because when this starts putting it down, it just hauls. Out of the McLaren and into the new Chevrolet Corvette Z06. So I'm gonna put the car in launch control. I'm gonna leave it in all the standard settings. Kurt really got a good launch on that last one, so I don't see a reason to change it. Here we go. Hopefully I can keep traction and maybe I'll get lucky.
Oh man, I should probably get my seat set for this bad boy. Yeah, launch sequence is kind of critical to get away. Active panel has to be turned on. I've got suspension in sport just because this is a little bit bumpy out here. Power is set to full kill, which is the track mode. Foot hard on the brake, and then you just, make sure you're in first gear, pull the paddle, and press the launch button. This might not get away the quickest, but it's gonna finish first, at least if I don't royally screw something up.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Oh my God, dude.
That is without a doubt the quickest run in U-Drags history, and you just saw it.
You know, sometimes in your life there are things that you experience that can only be expressed through profanity. And that was one of them.
No kidding. I still can't believe that the Z06 got beat by that much.
What? I can barely tell you what happened. All I know is that I left, and then it was really time to stand on the brakes, and you got to stand on them on this thing, but then you turn the corner, ESC kind of helps keep you straight, and then, dude, you get fired out of a cannon.
McLaren loves their firm brakes, but yeah, once the power comes on, it just, I don't know, it just seems to pull harder at the top.
Coming straight from the Z06 into this, the Z06 has a great front end. The steering feels fantastic. This is even better.
I know, everything about that car feels like I want it to. It's just so fast, but it feels stable. The Z06 is kind of a little squirrely off the line. Not bad, but it struggles. But the McLaren does too, but it feels dead straight while it's doing it.
Yeah, I think I need to add one of these to my collection. Oh, dude. Now all I have to do is get out. Oh.
Thing's fun to get out of, isn't it?
I don't know if I call it fun, but I'm just gonna lay down here for a second.
Let's recap. In race 1 off the line, the Z06 got a great start, ripping to 60 in 3.2 seconds, outgunning the McLaren's 3.4. And then, everything changed. The 765 put the hammer down, winning the quarter mile by a half second in 10.4. Just look at that speed. Team Chevy cornered with a higher G-force around the bend, but it wasn't enough. The McLaren won the race by an impressive 1.6 seconds, crossing the line at over 160 miles an hour. Not only is that the fastest finishing speed we've ever had on U-Drags, it beat the Z06 by 15 miles per hour. That's huge. In race 2, both cars left the line side by side, but the McLaren hitting 60 in 3.1 and quickly pulling away from the Z06. By the time the Big Mac hit the quarter, it was 0.7 seconds ahead and almost 15 miles an hour faster. That active aero really helps under braking and provides maximum stick in the corner. The 765 outperformed the Vette at 1.09 Gs versus 1.01 and rocketed to victory by 2.5 seconds. Now let's see the in-car camera and the data.
No way, not a chance. Look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That is fast. That's what $500,000 gets you right there.
So we all just saw and heard how bananas that was, but I want to know how it felt. So talk us through how these two cars feel from behind the wheel.
I'll talk about the Vette because that's what I drove first.
Yeah.
It feels like an animal. It feels very capable, but it's still an intimidating car, and it can make a good driver feel like an amateur. And you're just kind of always worried, not because of the car's doing anything bad, but because what it could do, because you're not smart enough to tell it the right thing to do.
Yeah, I'm sure the car's capable of it, but the McLaren, on the other hand, is, I don't want to say like methodical, but going down the straight, I'm spinning the tires, but the car feels dead straight. So like where the Corvette's getting a little squirrely, it just, I don't know. Honestly, I've never felt anything like that. The acceleration, especially at the top end in the McLaren, is wild, wild stuff.
It was crazy quick to watch. Bringing this maybe back down to earth a little bit, there's roughly $300,000 that separates these two cars when it comes to price.
Yeah.
Worth it?
I mean, it kind of depends on how fast you want to go. Could you mod one of these up to be as fast as this? Yeah, but then you'd lose your warranty, you'd lose everything else. And like, this is, at this level, it takes this much more money to make this vehicle work.
That's the thing. This is an amazing car. It just happens that like that has a little bit more to it.
So much more on that race. By the way, we have plenty more U-Drags episodes to check out right here on the Edmunds channel, so go ahead and do that. And as always, thanks for watching.